In his rhetoric, he stopped, said, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary in the first row said, "If I scrub the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Absolutely, it's a needed chore. Another little girl stood up and said, "If I share 50% of my pocket money with my less privileged friend, I will go to heaven." Correct. Little Tommy in the back bench stood up and said, the fundamental psychology of retribution comes from this simplistic idea of if you are a good guy, you're going to heaven, if you're a bad guy, you're going to hell. How many are going to heaven here, I want to know? Hello? You going? Good. But you must first check out what's there. There's no Wi-Fi, just telling you. So, in the previous generation, if you asked how many of you want to go to heaven, 90% would have raised their hand. All of you. Just one person raised, maybe there are a few more, maybe 10% will raise their hands in this generation. In the next generation, ask them how many of them want their life to be managed by heaven. Nobody. Almost nobody. Not even 1 or 2%. So essentially, in just a matter of 3, 4 generations, heaven is collapsing. But why is it collapsing? What is happening? Why should we go to heaven or not go to heaven? Heaven or hell, both I'm saying, I don't want to say both of them every time, so I'm just saying heaven, both. Either you fall here or there, there's just a wall between the two. If you're a good guy, you fall this way, if you're a bad guy, you fall that way. I don't know where the girls go, nobody spoke about it. Always the talk is about good guys fall this way, bad guys fall that way. Where do the girls go? Nowhere has it been spoken, because it's like this. What is in heaven? In the Hindu heaven, food is very good. If you're a foodie, you must go to Hindu heaven. If you go to another heaven, there are white-gowned ladies floating around in the sky, in the clouds. You like that kind of ambience, you can go there. If you go to another kind of heaven, you will be confronted with virgin problems. But what does it take to go there? This happened in Alabama. Anybody from Alabama? Because before I crack a joke, I'm just making sure that I'm okay. Because except in their shower, everywhere else they pack a gun out there. So, this is a Sunday school. The Sunday school teacher is going full fire. The audience are not like you, all tiny tots. Catch them, young policy. So he's going full fire. In his rhetoric, he stopped, said, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary in the first row said, "If I scrub the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Absolutely, it's a needed chore. Another little girl stood up and said, "If I share 50% of my pocket money with my less privileged friend, I will go to heaven." Correct. Little Tommy in the back bench stood up and said, "You got to die first." That is a qualification. Hello? You got to die first. When you die, usually, depending on your culture, either we will bury you or burn you or feed you to the birds. Different cultures do different things, or throw you in the ocean. Essentially, you put your body back to this planet because this body is a piece of planet, you slowly get it. If you've not done anything eco-friendly, at least putting the body back into the planet is a basic duty we must do one day. Hello? That you will do anyway, one way or the other. So you left your body here and went to heaven. Now what do you do with good food and virgins, I'm asking? You don't have a body. Hello? These are all problems that matter to you only when you have a body, isn't it? Hello? Hello, are we on talking terms? Yeah. Now, these kind of things have been on for a long time, let's keep them aside. So this retribution, it never happened to you, all right? Maybe somebody who was your friend turned against you and did some poking, or somebody else on the street did some poking, or some other force in this society. Never from the sky retribution came and hit you. Well, even if you're hit by the lightning, you know it's just lightning, it could hit anybody, all right? Just now, before I left India about 4 weeks ago, 23 elephants got burnt up in a lightning strike. This is the first time such a thing has happened. 23 elephants in one place, they were close together in a herd, lightning strike, all 23 got fried. So, is this elephantine retribution? No, these things are happening, all right? There is a lightning, there is a flood, there is a volcano, there is a road accident. These are happening because these are all forces in the nature. In many ways, it's happening. It is just that because we have no explanation for that, we just come up with a belief system. Because we don't have the courage to see that we don't know. What we do not know, I do not know, what's the problem? It is so straight of you, sincere of you, human of you to see I do not know, because if you see I do not know, genuinely understand, experience and realize that I do not know, your intelligence will be awake even if your body sleeps. Always on. The moment you say, I know, your intelligence sleeps, even if you're awake. So this is a fundamental tool, because the most important aspect of who you are right now as a human being, compared to every other wonderful species which are around us, millions of them, there are a heap of creatures, all right, millions of them, millions of species. You're on top of that in terms of evolutionary process. But human beings are not feeling like top of the world, simply because they don't have an active intelligence. They put it to sleep. They try to live with their memory or their imagination. Imaginations of heaven and hell, memories of past. What happened yesterday, what happened 10 years ago. What happened 10 years ago, people can still suffer. Hello? What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. What happened 10 years ago does not exist right now, isn't it? Hello? If you're suffering, is that hallucination or is it existentially correct? You must answer me, hello? If you're suffering something that does not exist, what should we call you? Hello? No, there are no good words for that. I won't use them, bad words, but there are no good words to describe somebody who is suffering something which does not exist, essentially because they're misunderstanding their psychological process as existential. This has happened because they have taken their individuality too seriously. Anybody who thinks I'm really a fantastic guy, all you have to do is close your mouth and hold your nose for 2 minutes. And you know, you're not such an individual. Only because these two holes are functioning, you're alive. Just transaction in terms of breath, in terms of food, in terms of drink, transactions are happening on all levels. That's why you're on. So your individuality is a fake. What was not you yesterday is you today in this body. What is you today may not be you tomorrow, isn't it? So your idea of individuality is a completely your psychological imagination, your individuality. Because of this, karma comes in. Because in this vast cosmos where you do not know where it begins, where it ends, you, a small little individual, terrifies you. You have to make up things. You have to make up things to survive here, Because if you just look like this, you don't know where this begins, where it ends. In the middle of nowhere, this small little mud ball called earth is spinning around and we are sitting here and look at us. Fear? Not knowing how to handle our fear, we make up something nice. Somebody's up there managing everything, don't worry, he's a good manager of things. And you're suffering, you must be a bad guy. You're having a good time? Oh, you must have done some great karma somewhere, all right? So this kind of thing has been going on, reward and punishment, because fear and guilt is the way to control people.